Hey everybody, I'm Bethany Turner, and it is time for another Her Novel Collective 5 in 5, and that's when we give 5 book recommendations in 5 minutes. All week long, we've been talking about families in books and talking about our favorite parents and our favorite siblings and all of that. So I was going to do a 5 in 5 based around that, but then I thought, you know what could be even more fun? I'm going to have my family do a 5 in 5. This is my sister Missy, and you are on the clock with 1 minute.
Okay. So I want to recommend, I love sci-fi time travel books. And so if you're even slightly into time travel, then the book you need is this one. It's called Time and Again, and it's by Jack Finney. And Stephen King, and his quote about this book is that this is the great time travel story. And there's a follow-up called From Time to Time. Hollywood has been circling this for a very long time. The last time that they thought about trying to do it, Robert Redford had it, so that was super fun. But Jack Finney also wrote The Body Snatchers, which was the emphasis for, which was the, that led to the invasion of the Body Snatchers. So anyway, this is about a man who travels back to 1882 and early New York. Get it now.
Sound. Okay, so next is going to be my son, Ethan. He is my older son. My younger one opted out of participating, but Ethan, you are on the clock with 1 minute. You're muted, I'm
okay.
sorry.
Well,
You're on the clock with 52 seconds.
I enjoy what's it called? Wooing Katie McCaffrey by Bethany Turner, because it demonstrates the simplicity yet the complexities of the average American life, and it demonstrates lovey stuff. And yeah.
You have 23 more seconds. Anything else to add?
I
mean, the lovey stuff really said it all.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Next, we're going to hand it over to my mom. This is my mom, Bev, or as she put herself when we were first doing this in the chat, Burb. So I'm going to hand it over to my mom. You have 1 minute and you're on the clock.
The author I love, of course, is Bethany Turner, but she only turns out 1 book a year. So I have 363 days to fill. I use Robert Galbraith, which is also J.K. Rowling's, her new things with her mystery I love. Jonathan Kellerman, who is usually deals with kid psychology. John Grisham has come out with a couple of great things, Camino Island and Camino Winds. And he is a bookseller, which I think is interesting because he hosts authors and everything. Michael Conley, who writes the Harry Bosch and the Lincoln Lawyer, where I can stick in, what's his name? Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Right. My all-time favorite, of course, is Dick Francis. He died, and so his son Felix is doing it not real well. I also like Dan McCaffrey, but she died, and her son and daughter, and they aren't that great either. But my all-time favorite is another one is Tony Hillerman. His daughter Anne is doing it. They write about the southwest part where Bethany lives, so it's familiar area, and that's what I do all the time.
That was amazing, but I love that everybody died.
I kill them off. But I have killed off. It started with Isaac Asimov. I killed him off. Frank Herbert. I've killed him off. There has been author after. Sue Grafton. She didn't even make it to the end of the alphabet. It just went on and
Mark
on.
Twain.
Mark Twain killed him off. I just can't name how many authors. So, rest in peace.
So we're going to then hand it off to my dad. It's my dad, Don. And you are on the clock with 1 minute.
Okay. I really like Robert B. Parker. He writes mysteries and detective stories and the lot. He wrote the Spencer series that was on TV for a while. He's He writes the Jesse Stone, who is portrayed by
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, and does that. He has a female detective as well, Sunny Randall. I found it interesting. He's now passed on. Here we go again. But the family decided to have individual writers to carry on his tradition, and it has taken no less than 4 to do the work that he was doing. He has written untold number. Well, I guess they know how many, but he's written a whole bunch of books. He writes also Western, Appaloosa, and things like that. He's a very good writer. Robert B. stands for Brown Parker.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to hand it over to my husband, Kelly. You are on the clock with 1 minute.
Okay, so apart from being a Bethany Turner fan, which goes without saying, although I said it anyway, if we're highlighting authors that I like the old, the spy novels from John le Carré and a lot of the classics, but kind of wanted to highlight, and this seems kind of simplistic, but I finished reading it a few months ago, Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. And I've never read it before, strangely, but its descriptiveness is refreshing, and it kind of brings a plausible scenario to a lot of implausible situations. So, I mean, in a way, it's kind of sci-fi, but in sort of a realistic way, sort of a proto-sci-fi presentation. And so, if you have not read anything by Jules Verne, his descriptiveness is really very nice. And of course, if you can read it in the original French, then bully for you. So.
All right. Thank you so much. So there you go. That's
Bully
5
for
and 5.
Boo.
So thank you for being part of her novel collective. Thank you to my family for doing this. That was awesome. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.